Hey guys, the Raptors really did it. Houston Rockets blew their 20-game losing streak into smithereens and defeated the Raptors 117-99. Welcome to the wrap-up, guys. If you haven't been here before, this is the official Raptors Republic Live post-game show. I'm your co-host, Sahal Abdi, and tonight, as always, we have my co-host here with me, Oren Weisfeld. Oren, tonight I said it, the Raptors lost to one of the worst teams in the National Basketball Association, the Houston Rockets, 117-99. Damn. This is getting to the point, Oren, where I keep calling each loss demoralizing. Somehow each loss keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I feel like this is like the grand finale.
Hope so.
I don't know what else to say. 20-game losing streak, one of the longest losing streaks in NBA history by the Houston Rockets, and they ran into a Toronto Raptors team that was on an 8-game losing streak. And Toronto Raptors didn't just lose; they got manhandled by the Houston Rockets. What do you have to say, Oren?
Well, I would say it's no longer disappointment. It's just sad at this point. Guys are falling over each other. Guys are John Walls hitting 360 layups on us. A 46-year-old John Wall. I mean, it's embarrassing. The worst team, the team with a 20-game losing streak. Only 8 teams. I previewed the game today, so I did some research. Only 8 teams in the history of the NBA have lost 20 in a row. Yeah. The Rockets, the most recent version. They were without Oladipo. They were without Porter Jr. And they won. And it wasn't even that close. That's the worst part. It never felt like the Raptors were gonna pull it back. Everyone was bad. Van Vliet was good. Everyone else was terrible. Kyle was okay. Everyone else didn't even. I'm so disappointed with Siakam. I understand. First of all, we're not going to make excuses because the Rockets are the worst team ever and they are missing guys. So we're not going to sit here and make COVID or OG excuses. So Siakam, he's not posting up effectively and he can't beat anyone off the dribble. So he's not able to do anything other than set screens. And that's such a limited, even then he's not finishing around the rim. Everything around the rim. He's like Aaron Baines out there fucking putting up just brick after brick around the rim. It's like, what happened to you guys? Who cursed you? Who hurt you so much? You're not even in Toronto for Toronto girls to ruin your life. So what's happening?
Yeah. I'm at a loss for words. I'm truly at a loss for words with this team because I genuinely don't know what to say. Siakam, he's a minus 14. Lowry was a minus 25 in this game.
No one was good besides Fred, who at least tried. There's not much to analyze because,
Yeah, and it's one of those games, too, where it's Fred was good, but, I'm putting this game on everybody. Literally every single player. Chris Boucher didn't shoot well. He had 4 points. But, I just want to get this out of the way, Oren. And we've said it on multiple live shows. Toronto Raptors might have the worst bench of all time. They legitimately don't have a single guy they can go to on the bench that will give them any sort of scoring. I'm literally looking at this team, and Siakam 21, Powell 19, Lowry 17, Fred 27. So that was like all the points really from 4 guys, and then the rest of the team 0, 0, 4, 2, 0, 6, 3, 0. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I can make all the Aaron Baines jokes and make people in the comments laugh and do all that, but this game is I thought a couple games ago against Utah that was really the game that really like sealed it for me, because I genuinely felt like the Raptors could have won that game. The one against the Cavs yesterday hurt pretty bad, but it was like, you know what, bounce back game against Houston. As much as I was trying to tell myself like, we're not going to lose against Houston, are we? I was confident all day. If you live in the Toronto or the GTA, there was great weather outside, so I took a nice walk. I tried to get my mind off of, the Cavs game last night. And the Raptors just, they lost to a team that began the season 11-10, and coming into this game, they were 11-30. Or 11-31, I should say. Or no, 11-30. I can't do math. 10 plus 20 is 30. Yeah, Oren, there's not much to say. Like, I have game notes and I could go through it, but at this point, people in the comments are they're losing it. People in the comments are absolutely losing it. Blow it all up.
Yeah, I mean, rightly so. Rightly so. I mean, we're all in this together, guys. We appreciate that 30 of you are even here. We know how tough this game was. So this is a collective, nice little place. This is a therapy session where we can get through this together, and each talk about how we're going to get our lives back on track after today.
Yeah. This is a nice comment we got. We should just end it right now. No. Unfortunate game for the Raptors. I genuinely didn't understand how the game was close in the first half. That's why I think when it rung with me that this team really just isn't good. Like, this team isn't good. We can say like, oh, it's 4 guys. We only have 4 NBA players and make all these jokes and, try and make ourselves feel better. But this team's not good. This team's just not good. Even the NBA players, you want to say Siakam, Fred, all these guys, like, they've all had off nights. Like, this 9-game losing streak now is on absolutely everybody. Like, I'm not, this is Fred, this is Pascal, this is Kyle, this is Norm, this is the entire team. It's easy to just pile on the Baines guys and the Paul Watsons and, all the bench guys, Utah, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not. This is becoming almost embarrassing for the Raptors, where someone has to step up, someone has to be a leader and end this. You just lost to probably the worst team in the league right now. I mean, Minnesota, I don't know how many wins they have compared to Houston. I'm sure they either have one more win or a couple more wins or just as many, but Minnesota's playing better basketball than Houston. So you could have made an argument that Houston was the worst team in the league coming into this game. And
I think the Raptors
blown out by that team.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument that the Raptors, since the All-Star break, have played the worst basketball in the league, potentially. And I've seen this comment twice, so I wanted to address it because, this is it does make the deadline decisions slightly easier. But at the same time, you just said it, this is embarrassing. You never want to be the embarrassing franchise. No matter how, we'll get a better pick, and it'll be easier to sell everyone on, to sell the fan base on selling. You still want to be looked at as a destination that's competitive and organized, has their shit together. Nick Nurse has his rotations nice. The guys are playing on a string, all that stuff. It's one thing if you're doing all that stuff and you don't have the talent and you're losing, but it's another thing if you have talent, but you're losing because you're not doing any of that stuff, because other guys are going to look at this team and look at the way that they've looked at it in the past, which is they're not a serious organization. I'm not saying any of that's happened yet. It's only been 2 months of this. So we're not going to say the Raptors are completely looked at differently, but I would push back on the sentiment that that this is for the best. It's not for the best. It's also like fans deserve to see good basketball, even if you're losing. Like you have to go out there, play hard, play organized, because like we are as fans, we deserve that. Like we put a lot of emotional and like money often when shit is open into the game. So, I don't think the Raptors organization would say this is for the best. I don't think anyone would.
Yeah. We haven't really talked about fans, Raptor fans. As we know by now, there's Raptor fans everywhere. We haven't really talked about the fans that have actually been showing up to Tampa, that live in Florida or live in the surrounding area, that are watching these Raptors. So I feel for them, because Toronto fans at this point, I don't know what Toronto fans would be doing if these guys are playing in Toronto. I genuinely don't know. The sentiment on Twitter is just toxic. I just glanced at it for a second, and it's bad. It's
yeah. I mean,
a lot going on.
Yeah. I'll address Edgar's comment. Is this the game that broke the camel's back? I would argue that it was broken before this.
Shattered.
Like I was writing the preview this morning for Raptors Republic, and I said, yeah, the Raptors have a chance to right the ship tonight. And Kyle Lowry talked after last night's game about you just need one win. He said we just need one win and then we can get on a roll. And that it would have been nice to get that win. Don't get me wrong. This is an embarrassing loss to the worst team, but the ship is it's going down.
Yeah.
And like you said, and a lot of people have hit on this on Twitter, I think this was the game a lot of fans realized, like, okay, this team's just not as good. I think I came to that, conclusion a few games ago, but it's a reality check for a lot of us, because I think a lot of us had higher expectations, and like there are legitimate excuses with COVID in Tampa, but I'm disappointed in the coaching, in some of the stars, in the front office. Like really top down, this season is bad.
Yeah. We'd even mentioned that OG Anunoby was out of the game for rest. And we got a Stanley Johnson start in this game, which I still don't, understand all that much. But hey, this is Stanley. So
Stanley loves taking charges in transition.
like, I don't. That's a great defensive play by Siakam, keeping his hands up, and then Stanley. Like, I'm pausing it here because you have four. It's almost a 4-on-4 if you look at the court, right? But Stanley could really take advantage, and he has one of many options here. He can just slow it down and just take the half court setting, right? The obvious play here would be, okay, drive and hit the corner, but you see Danuel House in the white headband clearly on the play, and Stanley by now should know, like, you cannot pass the ball to Norman Powell. Like, I guess you could say he already messed up at this point, because I don't know who that is underneath the net. Is it Jayshawn Tate? Someone's getting ready to take the charge, and Stanley knows he kind of already messed up. Like, he already went too deep, and like, that's a double whammy. Like, even if they don't call that charge, that is a horrific pass, man. Like, and that's just one play of many. Like, I don't even want to pull. I'm gonna actually. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up, because I think it's only right that in this group therapy session, guys, we all relive the misery that was this game. And I feel sorry for you guys that stayed up for this game. It was a 9 p.m. game on a weekday night. Some of you guys have work tomorrow or school or whatever it is. And we got to see plays like Stanley do that. And
ooh, did you see the Pascal, the last play of the game?
Yeah, we got. Look at this.
Did you see? Oh my God, he got it. He got it. We didn't need to see it, but he got it. No one wanted to see it again. Our guy, Aaron.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because, this team, they shouldn't be this bad. I don't care what anybody says. Like, this team should not be this bad.
Yeah.
It's difficult to watch this.
I got a real quick. I got a clip here of
Yeah.
Fred doing some nice finish. He had a bunch of these in the game, nice finishes, especially in transition. I thought he was really good, just be like by himself, creating that separation either with his body or with his dribble, and
Hmm.
finishing in transition, which you don't see that much. A few people in the comments are saying bad shot selection by Fred. Man, I would encourage you to watch a little bit closer, just like no one else wants it. So if no one else wants it, someone has to take it. So like I've said that I've had that complaint about Fred before, but I don't think this game's a good example because literally no one else wanted to take a shot. That's the problem with Stanley Johnson, Bembry, playing all these guys, Siakam the way he's playing. Fred's the only one who really like is aggressive enough to shoot and to attack and to like create for himself rather than just pass the ball. So yeah, the looks aren't great, but it's hard to blame him when no one else is really chipping in that much.
Yeah.
I was watching Evan Mobley, USC, the USC product, the
Big. Yeah.
freshman out of UFC.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
Let me
incredible.
tell you, he's huge. He contests everything. He's like bigger than Chris Boucher, but like good at everything.
Yeah. No,
So
Evan
just
Mobley
the
is
thing.
gifted. He is super, super gifted. I watched a USC game. I forgot who it was. It might have been against Oklahoma like a few weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago. I forgot. It was a dark red team, if I'm not mistaken. And he's great. He's absolutely great. I guess one good thing, Oren, that you could say that came out of the Raptors like being on this 9-game losing streak is the fact that March Madness is happening at the same time, and we get to watch some other basketball. So we don't really have to rely on Raptors to be the only source of entertainment or lack thereof.
This is
Um,
true.
Malachi Flynn, Oren.
Hmm.
You know, Nick Nurse has went to him the last few games off the bench, and he's kind of Nick Nurse kind of told the reporters that he's kind of solidified what he wants his rotation to look like, at least for the short term. And Malachi Flynn has been a part of that. Defensively, I love it. Like Malachi Flynn brings so much energy defensively. He has just very good instincts. When guys drive past him, he's still not out of the play. We even saw it in the preseason. Um, and I think the last time they played Charlotte, he stripped LaMelo of the ball. He's very good defensively, but again, the scoring isn't really there for the bench. Do you like at least what you see from Malachi defensively?
Yeah, defensively for sure. I mean, I think
Yeah,
he's in the rotation at this point until he
yeah,
screws up. But he's not as aggressive, I guess, as you would like him to be with the ball. But he's making like good decisions, not turning it over. Defensively, really, really good getting around screens. That's probably his biggest skill defensively. But I mean, you also have a guy in Fred who does that even better. Offensively, I
yeah,
just want to see him shoot a little more and create for himself a little more. He's super passive, I think, right now. But
yeah.
I'm surprised Pascal had 21 and 10 with 50% shooting. I'm not even gonna lie. I saw this comment. It didn't feel like it. It's not that like he was terrible. It's more that like this is a must-win game and he's supposed to be your best player. And
It's like this would have been the game where it would have been nice for Pascal to have like 35 and for it to be a statement win for Toronto and then blow out Houston. But I
yeah,
mean,
and
again, box
and
score
also
numbers
his
are nice.
defense on Christian Wood, it just wasn't getting
Yeah,
it done. I mean, they
it wasn't.
trusted him to defend Wood. On not ideal, Boucher couldn't do it. OG was out, so they trusted him to do it. And it's a big job to cover Wood while
Yeah,
also playing the Raptor style, but he just wasn't getting it done. Wood was stronger than him at the rim. Wood was getting to his spots. I just overall, other than this, 21 and 10, that's fine, but I wasn't that impressed.
I think Boucher, out of everyone, played the best on Wood from what I saw. Wood hit like some really, really tough shots on Boucher. I don't know if you remember the top of the three, like top of the key three, that Wood just looked like he just threw up. Like it looked like a shot clock, just throw it up over Boucher. And of course, Boucher is one of the hardest guys in the league to just throw a ball over in the first place. And we got a we got a nice little Netflix reference there. But yeah,
You
Christian Wood is Christian Wood. There's a reason why the Rockets' losing streak was kind of born out of him missing so many games with that high ankle sprain. And hey, I mean, it is what it is. I'm looking at Christian Wood. He had, he's 8 for 15. He had 19 points. Yeah, I don't know. Can we talk about how did Sterling Brown have 20 points? Like,
wow, that's nice.
I think I'm officially at the point, Oren, where like the Raptors are not just losing, but they're losing in a fashion where every game that they play, the weirdest like role player will drop like 20 or 25 or like it's ridiculous. I literally tweeted it. Like it started from way back, like Saban Lee, so many guys. I'm gonna show you guys in a second, but in the meantime, let's look at some of these comments because people are ringing off the comments.
Yeah, I mean the Raptors defense is set up a little bit to let role players win. We've talked about that, but the execution, like that doesn't mean that they're executing it well. Like their defense is supposed to take away the best players and, allow shots from role players a little more. But like I had this one, unfortunately I don't have the clip, but there was one point in the game in the first quarter where twice in a row a Rocket pulled up for like a deep 2, and twice in a row the Raptors like closed out hard, like sold out completely.
Yeah.
And then the Rockets just made the pass and it led to a wide open 3, and it's like that's not the shot you should be worried about. Like close out hard on 3s, fine. But when like not even John Wall, like a Tate or someone is pulling up for a 2, you can't run out and jump out at that and completely force the defense to scramble for long 2s. So it's just execution stuff like that.
Look at some of those names, Oren. Those are names.
They're ugly guys.
Murderers Row. Those are all role players who have just absolutely shredded the Raptors, starting from Grant Williams. You guys remember when Boston beat up on the Raptors a few weeks ago? Yeah, that was just before or just after, I should say, the COVID protocols. Jeff Teague on Boston, Saban Lee on the Pistons, Herder, Patrick Williams, Sadiq Bey this week, Joe Ingles a few days ago, Dean Wade last night with the Cavaliers, and then Sterling Brown tonight. This is like I said, the Raptors aren't just losing. This is every game they're giving it up to. They're making a role player look like a star, and I don't know, Oren, why that's the case. I don't understand it, to be honest. They let. I'm looking at some of the team stats. 42.5% from the field, the Raptors. Pretty good for their standards. Rockets had 28 assists. Raptors had 19. Yeah, I mean, Raptors just didn't do much this game. I'm looking at team stats look pretty even, to be quite honest. The Raptors didn't shoot well from 3. They shot 43s and made 10 of them, Oren. 43s and they made 10.
Yeah, and Boucher, we talked about last game. When Boucher is not scoring, which he could not hit a 3 today.
Yeah,
the Raptors really struggle offense. If you look at bench points, the Raptors, I'm not sure if you have it up right now, but no one was giving them anything from the bench, including Boucher, really. So this is just all. Yeah. This was Siakam. Did you miss this? You might have turned off the game by now, but this was actually the lowest moment of the season. Siakam has a wide open layup here, misses it, gets the rebound. Tate grabs the ball from him, just mans him, and then they get a layup on the other end. Really gross stuff. Just sickening, just stuff that you watch at the end of the day if you really hate your life,
Oh my goodness. Like that is just horrific, man.
Anyways, I do feel for the guys. I know we've been really like negative. I feel for the guys. They're in a really shitty situation. Someone was saying how, all the players were so clear that they would not do another bubble after the bubble because it's so isolating and all that. Well, the Raptors basically did. They basically did have to leave their home and live in a bubble for a whole nother season. So they got a really shitty hand. It's clear what they're going to do now, I think. I think it's pretty clear that they're going to explore options to look toward next season rather than this one, at least. And the rest of this season could get dark, dude. This could not even be the lowest. I'm at this point looking forward to a trade just because I need to see a Masai presser. I need to see someone push some questions on him. I need some answers. He's been silent this season. Like I haven't seen him since the start of the season. Masai is hidden. And two, I just want to. I'd like to get some new players on this team, analyze some new guys. I got a good handle on what the guys we have are doing, and it'd be exciting to get some new talent in here.
Honestly, it would be lovely to see something. I'm at the point, Oren, where I've been anti-trade up until last night. Anti-trade everybody, but something has to give. Something has to give. Lowry doesn't deserve this. And does Lowry deserve blame as well? Sure, you could say that. Does he deserve as much as everyone else? No, but Lowry doesn't deserve this, man. Like, there's no way. The end of his prime should be wasted on a team like this. Norm, I guess at this point, just move guys for the future, and you look forward to next year, because this year it's a wrap, man. It's just a complete and utter wrap this year. Like I said, you lost against Detroit, one of the worst teams in the league. You lost against them twice. You lost against Utah, which is, again, a good team, but should have won that game. You lost against the Cavaliers. You lost against the Hawks.
The Hawks, that is the loss, dude. That Hawks loss, that's the one where I actually thought they were going to win the whole time, kind of. That was such a deflating Tony Snell buzzer beater. It was just like... We should have seen it coming. We should have known bad things were going to happen from there. Only bad things have happened
Tony
since.
Snell out of all players.
Yeah, and our upcoming schedule is right there. Suns, Nuggets, Blazers. It is in Tampa Bay, but it's also 3 of the 5, I think, best teams in the West right now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it really could get worse. It really could. Like, it's not hard to imagine a scenario where the Raptors just keep losing because guys are still getting their conditioning. They're not playing well together. They're not playing in the system. Like, I'm surprised how this just doesn't look like a Nick Nurse team. Like, I think maybe COVID has led to this point, but they have not been playing fast at all. So maybe it's an intentional thing. Like, we don't have a deep bench. We have guys coming back from COVID, so we just want to take it easy on them and play more in the half court. But, Nick Nurse teams usually force steals, get out in transition, run fast, put a lot of pressure on the defense. They haven't done that at all since the trade deadline, since the All-Star break, really. So it's really hard to score when you're not doing that. And, when guys are shooting this bad.
Yeah. And one of the worst parts about this loss was the fact that I genuinely thought that the Raptors were going to make a comeback, and I already had this storyline built up in my head where I was like, "Oh, Houston's going to be that like disgraceful team where like it would be so them to just lose 21 straight and throw the game like they did. I think it was last night or maybe even the night before."
This is how sad I am. This is what I'm.
Oh yeah, you're down.
I'm bad.
You're down awful. I'm literally drinking Gatorade.
I thought you were gonna say like
out of those 1 liter. I don't even know anymore, man.
At least you're not drinking alcohol.
Yeah,
you're at least like sober and nice. You're not too bad. Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm. It's awful. It's awful. I've seen a lot of Fade for Cade comments.
Or Mobley. I would be really
Mobley.
Almost just as happy with Mobley. He would fit the OG Mobley 4-5 so nicely. That would be a really, really sweet looking front court, because OG has the bulk to defend some centers. Mobley's just more like long and a rim protector. So that would be really whew. But getting ahead of ourselves here just a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Oren, do you have anything else to add? I think this is going to be one of our shorter episodes where I just want to curl up honestly into my bed at this point and just Drake, Take Care album, go through it maybe once, maybe twice.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to add other than thanks for tuning in. The people, we've seen you guys stay along for the ride this show. We appreciate that. We're going to have a trade deadline show on Thursday at 2 p.m. just reacting to whatever the Raptors do. And we're going to be back, believe it or not, every game this season after the game. So support us, like the video, share the video. We'd appreciate all that.
For sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
for me.
like, comment, subscribe to the Raptors Republic channel. Turn on the post notifications if you haven't already. I've said this multiple times, guys. We have tons and tons of content, I should say, on that YouTube channel. Zarar is always posting these super dope film clips that I watch personally all the time. And obviously, we want to thank our sponsor as well, RF Creation for Remax, for supporting the show. Again, this is one of the shorter episodes, and deservedly so. Toronto Raptors came up short versus the Houston Rockets, 117-99. The Houston Rockets broke their 20-game losing streak in a fashion that maybe a lot of Raptors fans expected. I'm your co-host, Sahal Abdi, again here with Oren Weisfeld. We'll see you guys Wednesday versus the Denver Nuggets.
All female broadcast on TSN, so should be a fun broadcast.
Can't wait.
New voices.
Let's hear it.
All right, see ya.